Hello and welcome back to this latest episode of series related to investing in ESG that now highlights about the smart investors who assess the corporate commitment to ESG principles. Assessing companies' commitment to ESG principle involves evaluating various factors and using multiple sources of information, thereby confirming that all ESG principles are strongly followed in the disclosure report with a good ESG rating score that largely related impact of environment, social responsibility, and analyzing the governance practice and emphasizing use of ESG investment tools. It also seeks out the position for truly engaging with the companies, monitor related news and media, and check their certification and standards in relation to ESG principles. This will enhance the plethora of investment approach such as sustainable investing, ethical investing, and impact investing that will create a bridge to understand how responsible investment is broader than these concepts, where many make moral or ethical goal a primary purpose. Responsible investment can and should be pursued with the investor whose sole focus is financial performance, as well those looking to build a bridge between the financial risk or opportunities and outcome in the real world. These are crucial parameters to gauge the company principally for ESG status that well strengthened, deepened, and expanded the core work to lead the responsible investors in their pursuit long-term value and to enhance the alignment throughout the investment chain. This will address unsustainable aspect of the market that investors operate into the achieve the economically efficient, sustainable goal financial system. This will enable the investors to improve the real world now and in future by encouraging investment, contribute to and future generation also. Thus, assessing a company's commitment to ESG principle, there will be have the idea about the obstacle to sustainable performance of the corporate entity where investments are to be made and that are largely governed market practice, structures, and regulation. The first thing the investor has to look is to review the ESG report and disclosures. Smart investors start by examining a company's annual report and sustainability report. These documents often contain detailed information about the company's ESG strategies, goal, and performance matrices. Investors should look for the specific measurable ESG target and timeline progress update on the previous ESG commitment, transparency about the challenges and areas for improvement, and integration of ESG factors into the company's overall business strategy. The first thing is to review the annual report and sustainability report. The annual report, while traditionally focused on the financial performance, modern annual report often includes significant ESG content. Investors should analyze CEO statement on ESG principles, ESG risk assessment and mitigation strategy, ESG related key performance indicators, that is KPIs, and ESG impacts on the financial performance and long-term value creation. The sustainability reports provides in-depth information on companies' environmental and social impact. Key elements to review includes carbon emission data and reduction strategy, waste management and resource efficiency initiatives, diversity and inclusion matrices, and the community engagement and social impact program. The next is related to the business responsibility and sustainability report, that is BRSR. In the jurisdiction like India, where BRSR is mandate for the top companies, this report offers standardized ESG disclosures. Investors should examine compliance with the BRSR guidelines, consistency of information across different reports, and year-on-year improvement in BRSR disclosure. The next is related to corporate website. A company's website often contains additional ESG information. Investors should look for the dedicated ESG or sustainability sections, regular updates on ESG initiative and case study or a detailed examples of the ESG programs in action. The last but not the least is the SEC filing, that is Security Exchange Commission form filling. For publicity traded companies, the SEC filings can provide valuable ESG insight. Key documents include Form 10K, that is annual report with the risk factor including ESG related risk. Next is proxy statements, that is information on the board composition, executive compensation and shareholder proposals related to ESG. And the last is 8K fillings, means material events that might include significant ESG developments. By thoroughly reviewing these sources, smart investors can develop a comprehensive understanding of a company's commitment to ESG principles. This approach allows for more informed investment decisions, aligning financial goals with sustainable and ethical consideration. Another important point is to examine the ESG rating and scores. Smart investor recognize that examines ESG rating and scores is a crucial step in assessing companies' commitment to environmental, social, and governance principles. These matrices provide valuable insights into a company's ESG performance and can help investors make informed decisions. However, it's important to approach these ratings critically and consider multiple sources. The first is related to the third-party ESG rating. Investors should examine rating from reputable ESG rating agencies such as MSCI, Sustainable and ISSI or SEBI's BRSR. When analyzing these ratings, we must understand the methodology. Each agency has its own approach to assessing the ESG factor. Familiarize yourself with their criteria and weighting systems. Looks beyond the overall score. Dive into the component scores for environmental, social, and governance factors separately. Compare with the industry's peer. A company's rating should be considered in the context of its sectors and competitors and check for the recent updates. ESG rating can change rapidly. Ensure you're looking at the most current information. The next is ESG indices. Many major index providers now offer ESG focused indices. These can provide a benchmark for ESG performance. First, by review inclusion criteria, understand what qualifies a company for inclusion in these indices, followed by tracking changes, monitor addition and removal from these indices over time, and third, compare the performance. Assess how companies perform relative to their ESG index benchmark. The next is related to consistency across rating. Examining rating from multiple sources over a 3 year period can provide a valuable insight by looking for trends, that is, are the company's rating improving, declining or remaining stable across different agencies. Further, that's analysis disparity. If rating varies significantly between the agency, investigate the reason behind these differences. Further, consider industry specific factors, like some industries may consistently score lower in certain ESG area due to the nature of their business. When assessing consistency, investors should create a comparison chart, plot rating from different agencies over the 3 years period to visualize the trends. This followed up by investigate significant changes. If there are substantial shift in rating, research what company action or external factors might have caused these changes. Lastly, look for the convergence and or divergence. Are rating from different agencies becoming more aligned, more disparate over time? By thoroughly examining ESG rating and scores from multiple sources over time, smart investors can gain a more comprehensive understanding of a company's ESG performance. This approach helps in identifying companies that consistently demonstrate strong ESG practice versus those that may be engaging in greenwashing or making only superficial commitment to the sustainability. Remember, while ESG ratings are valuable tools, they should be used in conjunction with the other forms of analysis, including direct engagement with the companies and review of a corporate disclosure to form a holistic view of a company's ESG commitment. Now, analyzing the environmental impact. Smart investors recognize that analyzing a company's environmental impact is crucial in assessing its commitment to ESG principles. This analysis focuses on two key areas: carbon footprints and resource management. A thorough examination of these aspects provides valuable insight into the company's environmental stewardship and long-term sustainability. Let us take one by one. That is the carbon footprint. First of all, examine the emission data covering scope 1, scope 2 and 3 emission data. Look for year-over-year trends in emission reduction and compare emission intensity, that is emission per unit of revenue of production, with industry peer. Second is related to renewable energy adoption. Assess the percentage of energy sourced from the renewable. Look for investments in on-site renewable energy generation or power purchase agreement, that is PPAs, for a clean energy and evaluate target for increasing renewable energy usage over time. The third is energy efficiency measure. Identify initiatives to improve energy efficiency in operations, buildings and manufacturing processes. Look for energy efficient technologies implemented across the company's facilities and assess the impact of these measures on overall energy consumption. Next is carbon offset programs. Evaluate the quality and the scale of carbon offset initiatives. Look for the third-party verification of offsets program and assess how offset fits into the company's overall emission reduction. The next is related to the resource management. Water management. Analyze water consumption that are trends. Look for the water recycling and conversion initiative and assess water-related risks, especially in water-stressed regions. The next is related to waste management. Examine waste generation and disposal data. Look for initiative to reduce, reuse and recycle waste and assess the progress toward the zero waste goals if applicable. Next point is related to the circular economy. Identify efforts to implement circular economy principle in product designing and manufacturing. Look for programs to take back and recycle end of life products and assess the partnership with suppliers and customers to reduce waste across the value chain. The biodiversity and ecosystem impact, that is, evaluate the company's impact on the local ecosystem and the biodiversity. Look for habitat restoration or conservation projects and assess the policies to minimize the negative impact on biodiversity in operation and supply chain. By thoroughly analyzing these aspects of environmental impact, investors can gain a comprehensive understanding of a company's commitment to environmental sustainability. This analysis helps identify companies that are genuinely working to reduce the environmental footprint and those that may be at risk due to the poor environmental practice. Now let us evaluate how companies are socially responsible while doing the business. Smart investors recognize that evaluating a company's social responsibility is crucial in assessing its overall commitment to ESG principles. This evaluation focuses on two key areas: labor practice and community engagement. A thorough examination of these aspects provides a valuable insight into the company's social impact and long-term sustainability. Let us take one by one. First is related to the labor practice. In the labor practice, first we see the employee welfare. Analyzing the compensation policy including fair wages and benefits, examine work-life balance initiatives and flexible working arrangements, assess employee satisfaction and retention rates, look for a professional development and training program. Another aspect is diversity and inclusion. Evaluate workforce diversity statistics across all levels, including leadership. Examine policies and initiatives promoting diversities and inclusion. Look for an equal opportunity practice in hiring and promotion. Assess pay equity across gender, race, and other demographics. Other important point is the workplace safety. Analyze the occupational health and the safety matrices including injury rates. Examine safety training program and protocol. Look for investment in workplace safety improvement. Assess the compliance with the industry specific standards. The next is related to the community engagement. Earlier we have seen labor practice within the factory. Now we are seeing community engagement outside the factory. Let's take the first point is the community development. Evaluate the partnership with the local organization for community development. Assess impact of the company operations on local communities. Look for the initiative addressing specific community needs. Philanthropy. Analyze the scale of focus of the corporate giving program. Examine the alignment of the philanthropic efforts with the company's core competency. Assess the impact measurement of the philanthropic initiative. Next point is related to the social initiatives. Evaluate program addresses broader social issues like education, healthcare, etc. Look for employees' voluntary program and their impact. Assess long-term commitment to social cause. Next, an important point is infrastructure building. Examine investments in the local infrastructure, that is school, hospital, road, etc. Assess how these investments benefits both community and the company. By thoroughly analyzing these aspects of the social responsibility, investors can gain a comprehensive understanding of a company's commitment to its employees and community. This analysis helps identifying companies that are genuinely working to create positive social impact and those that may be at risk due to a poor social practice. Companies with strong social responsibility practice often benefits from improved employee morale, better community relation, and enhanced brand reputation. These factors can contribute to longer-term financial performance and sustainability, making them attractive investment for socially conscious investors. Now, equally, after doing environmental and social, the investor has to assess the governance practice. A smart investor evaluating a company's commitment to environmental, social, and governance principles must thoroughly assess its governance practice. This is critical examination provides insights to This is critical examination provides insight into the organization leadership, ethical standards, and overall dedication to responsible business practice. Let us see first the board composition. The board composition is a key indicator for a good governance. Investors should look for the diversity in terms of gender, ethnicity, age, and professional background. A well-balanced board brings varied perspective, enhancing the decision making and risk management. Additionally, the presence of independent directors helps ensure impartial oversight and protect shareholders' interest. The next is related to the ethical practice. The ethical practice forms the cornerstone of the responsible governance. Investor should scrutinize the company's track record on the issue such as corruption, bribery, and conflicts of interest. A robust code of conduct, regular ethics training for employee, and transparent reporting of ethical breach are positive signs. Companies with a strong whistleblower protection policies also demonstrate a commitment to maintaining ethical standards. The next is related to the company's policies and commitment that provides concrete evidence of ESG integration. Investors should examine policies related to environment sustainability, human rights, labor practice, and community engagement. Commitment to international standards like the UN Global Compact or industry-specific initiatives can indicate a serious approach to ESG. The alignment of executive compensation with the ESG goal is another powerful indicator of genuine commitment. The next is quantitative matrices. This offers measurable insight into the company's ESG performance. Investors should analyze data on board meeting attendance, executive pay ratio, employee turnover rates, and the frequency of the ESG related discussion in the board meeting. Environmental matrices such as the carbon emissions, water usage, and the waste management should be tracked over time to assess the progress. Smart investors also consider the quality and the frequency of ESG reporting. Companies that provide comprehensive, regular update ESG report aligned with the recognized framework such as GRI, SAPS, that is SASP, demonstrate transparency and accountability. By thoroughly assessing these governance practices, investors can gauge a company's true commitment to ESG principle, helping them making informed decisions that align with both financial goals and the value-based investing. Investors should give equal weightage by examining the policy and practice of the company. A smart investor evaluating a company's commitment to ESG principle must carefully examine its policy and practice across the various operational areas. This comprehensive assessment provides valuable insight into the organization's dedication to responsible business conduct and sustainable practice. The first is supply chain management. The supply chain management is a crucial aspect of ESG performance. Investors should scrutinize a company's supplier code of conduct, auditing process, and the efforts to ensure ethical sourcing. Companies that actively work to reduce environmental impact throughout their supply chain, promote fair labor practice, and engage in capacity building with the supplier demonstrate a strong commitment to the ESG principle. The next is related to the product responsibility. It is another way key areas for examination. Investors should assess the company's approach to product safety, quality control, and lifecycle management. Companies that prioritize the sustainable product design, minimize harmful ingredients, and implement robust recycling or take-back program shows a proactive stance on ESG issue. Transparency in product labeling and marketing practice is also crucial. Another point is related to the external partnership and certification that provides third-party validation of a company's ESG efforts. Investors should look for the collaboration with reputable NGOs, industries associations, and sustainable initiatives. Certifications such as B Corporation, Fair Trade, or industry-specific sustainability standards can indicate a company's commitment to meeting rigorous ESG criteria. The next is related to regulatory compliance. That is fundamental to good ESG practice. Investors should evaluate a company's track record of compliance with the environmental regulation, labor law, and industry-specific standards. Proactive engagement with regulatory and participation in shaping responsible industry practice are positive indicators. Companies that go beyond mere compliance to set higher internal standards demonstrate leadership in ESG. The smart investor also considers a company approach to emerging ESG issue and its ability to adapt to changing regulatory landscape. Forward-thinking companies often implement policies that anticipate future regulation, positioning themselves as the industry leaders. By thoroughly examining these policies and practices, investors can gain a comprehensive understanding of a company's commitment to ESG principles. This holistic approach allows for more informed investment decisions that balance financial return with a positive environmental and social impact. Now let us examine how the companies engage with the ESG principle. A smart investor assessing the company's commitment to ESG principle recognizes the importance of active engagement. This approach allows investors to gain deeper insight into the company's ESG practice and influence corporate behavior. Effective engagement strategies include stakeholders engagement, direct engagement, and proxy voting. The first is related to the stakeholder engagement. It is a crucial aspect of ESG commitment, investors should evaluate how a company interacts with the various stakeholders, including the employees, customers, local communities, and advocacy groups. Companies that maintain open lines of communication, regularly solicit feedback, and demonstrate the responsiveness to the stakeholders' concerned are likely to have a more robust ESG approach. Investors can assess the quality of stakeholder engagement by reviewing companies' report, attending shareholders' meeting, and monitoring media coverage of the company's community relation. The next is related to the direct engagement. This involves investors actively communicating with the company's management about the ESG issue. This can take the form of one-by-one meetings, participating into the investors' calls, or sending written inquiries. Through direct engagement, investors can seek clarification on ESG policy, express concern, and advocate for the improvement. It's important for investors to prepare thoroughly for these interactions, focusing on material ESG issue relevant to the company's industries and operation. Tracking the company's response and follow through on the commitment made during these engagements is crucial for assessing the sincerity of their ESG commitment. The next is related to the proxy voting. This is a powerful tool for investors to influence the corporate behavior on ESG matters. Smart investors carefully review proxy statement and vote on shareholders' resolutions related to ESG issues. This may include proposal on climate change, mitigation, board diversity, executive compensation tied to ESG matrices, or enhanced ESG disclosure. By supporting ESG-focused resolution and holding boards accountable, investors can drive positive change in the corporate practice. Effective engagement often involves collaboration with other investors, joining investors' coalition, or participating in collective engagement. Initiatives can amplify an individual investor's voice and increase likelihood of meaningful corporate responses. By actively engaging with the companies through these methods, smart investors can not only assess but also influence a company's commitment to ESG's principle. This approach allows for more dynamic and impactful investment strategy that goes beyond passive analysis of publicly available information. Now let us see the understanding and the value of external monitoring in the company. This approach provides an independent perspective on a company's ESG performance and can reveal insights that may not be apparent for the company's provided information alone. The first is we have to keep track of the media coverage. This offers a wealth of information on the company's ESG practice. Investors should monitor reputable news source, industry publication, and financial media for report on the company's sustainable initiative, labor practice, and governance issue. Positive media coverage can indicate successful ESG implementation, while the negative report may highlight areas of concern or a potential risks. The next is related to the social media. This has become an increasingly important tool for gauging the public perception of a company's ESG efforts. Investors should track discussion on platforms like Twitter, LinkedIn, and Reddit to understand how stakeholders perceive the company's ESG commitment. Social media can also provide an early warning sign of emerging controversies or reputational risk. The next is related to the monitoring controversies and incidents. This is crucial for assessing a company's ESG risk management. Investors should pay attention to environmental accidents, labor disputes, data breach, or governance scandals. The company's response to such incidents, including timelessness, transparency, and effectiveness of the remedial action, can reveal such about its true commitment to ESG principles. The next is related to the external audit and certification. This provides objective assessment of a company's ESG performance. Investors should for third-party verification of sustainability report, Environmental Management System Certification, that is ISO 14001, and social responsibility audit. These externally validation can lend credibility to a company's ESG claim. The last is related to the peer comparison. This is an effective way for contextualizing a company's ESG efforts. Investors should benchmark the company's ESG performance against the industry's peer using standardized matrices and ratings from reputable ESG data providers. This comparison can highlight whether a company is a leader or a laggard in its sectors. Monitoring ESG rating and indices such as Dow Jones Sustainability Index or MSCI ESG rating, or in India BSI Index or any other, can provide a quick overview of a company's ESG standing. However, investors should understand the methodology behind these ratings and use them as a part of a broader assessment rather than relying on them exclusively. By employing these external monitoring techniques, smart investor can gain a more comprehensive and objective view of a company's commitment to ESG principles. This approach helps identifying potential risks and opportunity that may not be apparent from company's disclosure alone, enabling more informed investment decisions. Another way of examining the performance of ESG is the use of ESG investment tools in a company. These tools can provide comprehensive data, streamlined analysis, and offer professionally insight into the company's ESG performance. The first is ESG focused mutual funds. ESG focused mutual funds and exchange traded funds, that is ETFs, offers a convenient way for investors to gain exposure to companies with a strong ESG credentials. These funds typically employ teams who conduct thorough ESG assessments, saving individual investors considerable time and efforts. By examining the holdings and methodology of these funds, investors can gain insight into which companies are considered ESG leaders. Popular ESG ETFs include like iShares ESG Aware, MSCI USA ETF, and Vanguard ESG USA Stock ETF, etc. However, investors should carefully review the fund's prospect to understand its specific ESG criteria and weighing methodology. The second thing is related to specialized ESG data providers and the platform. This offers a powerful tool for in-depth analysis. The Bloomberg terminal, widely used by the professional investors, include extensive ESG data and analysts. Its ESG function allows users to screen companies based on the various ESG matrices and compare them against the peer. Refinite Econ similarly offers comprehensive ESG data, including controversy scores and detailed company reports. Other notable ESG platforms are SP Global, provides ESG score and a risk assessment through its SP Global ESG score. Morningstar offers the Morning Sustainability Rating for funds and detailed ESG risk rating for individual companies through its acquisition of Sustainalytics. Third is MSCI, provides the ESG rating research and tools used by the many institutional investors. The next is Sustainalytics, offers detailed ESG risk rating and controversy assessment. ISS ESG, that provides corporate and country ESG rating along with the climate risk assessment. These platforms typically offer features such as ESG scoring, controversy tracking, comparison tools, and detailed reports on the company's specific ESG initiatives and risks. Many also provide forward-looking assessment and how well positioned companies are to handle future ESG challenges. While these tools can significantly enhance the investor's ability to assess the ESG commitment, it's important to understand their methodologies and limitations. ESG rating can vary between the providers due to difference in data source, weighing scheme, and assessment criteria. Therefore, smart investors often consult multiple sources and combine these insights with their own research and analysis. Thus, by effectively utilizing these ESG investment tools, investors can make more informed decisions identify ESG leaders, and construct a portfolio that aligns with both their financial goals and value. Another way of analyzing a company for the ESG principle is to look for certification and standards they have. These third-party validation offers an objective assessment of a company's ESG performance and can help investors identify organizations that are truly dedicated to sustainable and responsible business practice. First is related to the Global Reporting Initiative, that is GRI standard. The GRI standards are widely recognized as the most comprehensive framework for sustainability reporting. Companies that follow GRI guidelines demonstrate a commitment to transparency in their ESG disclosure. Investors should look for the GRI complaints sustainability reports, which covers a wide range of ESG topics and include detailed performance matrices. Another is UN Global Compact. This initiative encourages business worldwide to adopt sustainable and social responsible policies. Companies and are signatories to the UN Global Compact commit to align their operations and 10 principles covering human rights, labor, environment, and anti-corruption. Investors can check the UN Global Compact website to verify the company's participation and review their annual communication progress. The next is we have to see is about the certification, and the first is ISO certification. Various international organizations of standardized ISO certification are relevant to ESG principles. This include ISO 14001 for environmental management system, ISO 45001 for occupational health and safety, and ISO 26000 for social responsibility. While ISO 26000 is a guidance standard and not a certifiable, companies that align with its principles demonstrate a comprehensive approach of social responsibility. B Corporation certificate means the administered by the non-profit B Lab. This certification is awarded to the companies that meet rigorous standards of social and environmental performance, accountability, and transparency. B Corporations are legally required to consider the impact of their decision on workers, customers, suppliers, community, and the environment. Another is Science-Based Target Initiative, that is SBTi. Companies that set emission reduction target through the SBTi demonstrate a serious commitment to addressing the climate change. These targets are aligned with the latest climate science and the goal of the Paris Agreement. Another is a LEED certification. For real estate company or those with a significant property holding, leadership in energy and environment design, that is LEED certification, indicates a commitment to sustainable building practice. Forest Stewardship Council, or a program for the endorsement of the forest certification, that is PEFC. These certifications are particularly relevant for the companies in industry that use forest products, indicating responsible source practices. By looking for these certification and adherence to the global standard, investors can gain a more objective assessment of a company's ESG commitment. However, it's important to remember that while certifications are valuable indicators, they should be considered as a part of the broader analysis of a company's ESG performance and not as a standard or proof of commitment. So here we conclude our 35 episode series on ESG in phase 1, which has provided the Indian viewers with a comprehensive exploration of ESG from professional perspective, contextualized with India's unique ethos and culture. This subject has gained global acceptance, with the Indian ESG system now recognized as a viable option for ESG rating internationally. We extend our gratitude to regulatory bodies such as SEBI, MCA, RBI, IRDAI, PFRDA, and other professional bodies for their role in shaping ESG standards. These efforts are now prominently reflected in the stock exchange, indices like Nifty 100 ESG indexes, S&P BSE 100 ESG indexes, and Nifty 100 ESG sectors leader indexes. In future, in phase 2, we are planning to discuss India ESG critical component with the rest of the countries in the world. As ESG continue to grow its importance, in the coming days, we encourage you to pursue certificate course as a ESG professional. So, best wishes on your journey towards becoming an expert in this crucial field of environment, social, and governance monitoring. Thank you very much.